So Xiaomi's at it again, and this time they're trying to gain a foothold in the fast-growing phablet market. The Xiaomi Hongmi or Redmi Note is Xiaomi's answer to those looking for an affordable phone with a big display or a phablet. So how does the Redmi Note fare? Well, that's what we aim to find out in this video. So if this is your first time here, or in case you've gotten all confused trying to pronounce Xiaomi, that's Xiaomi by the way. My name's Ash and you're watching C4E Tech. Let's get started. As always, let's start with the build. The Redmi Note is built out of polycarbonate. To the front, we have the earpiece, 5 megapixel camera, sensors, notification LED, lower below, the 5.5-inch display, and at the bottom, the capacitive menu, home and back keys. It's worth noting that unlike with the Redmi before this, the capacitive keys are backlit this time around. On the back, we have the 13 megapixel rear camera, LED flash, Xiaomi branding, and the internal speaker. The back is user removable, and inside we have the dual mini SIM slots and a microSD card slot. Below that we have a mammoth 3200 mAh battery. Again, that's user replaceable too. Good stuff. The Redmi Note is 9.5mm thick and weighs in at 199 grams. So while it does feel solid in hand, you need to keep in mind that single-handed usage is not going to be possible at all times. Anyway, the Redmi Note features a 5.5-inch 720p IPS LCD display that gives you a pixel density of 267 pixels per inch. While not the sharpest of displays, it's still pretty good and produces natural colors while offering very good viewing angles. Now, moving on to what's underneath the hood, the Redmi Note is powered by the Mediatek 6592 octa-core chipset. There are two variants. The base variant has its cores clocked at 1.4 GHz each with 1 GB of RAM, and that's the one that you see me using in this video. The higher spec variant has its cores clocked at 1.7 GHz each and has 2 GB of RAM on both. Both variants utilize the Mali-450MP4 GPU, and that's adequate for most day-to-day stuff and even some heavy gaming. The audio output via both the internal speaker and earphones is pretty decent. All this is powered by the 3200 mAh user replaceable battery, and the battery life on the Redmi Note is amazing. Even with all the testing, it got me through almost 2 days on a single charge. On a looping video playback tests, the Redmi Note lasted for well over 12 hours before finally running out of juice. With moderate usage, you should have absolutely no issues getting through 2 days at least on a single charge. Now let's get to the 13 megapixel rear camera. It performs better than most cameras found on phones in this price segment. Under good lighting conditions, it can shoot beautiful pictures. Images are crisp, sharp, and the colors are natural. The 5 megapixel front-facing shooter also outdoes competitors in this price range. 1080p video recording's pretty good too. The UI is the same that we've seen on the Redmi before. By default, you start with the simple mode, and if you need to fine-tune the settings, you can turn the simple mode off. Pretty minimalistic and stays out of your way for the most part, just letting you do what you wanna, that is just shoot. Talking about software, the Redmi Note runs on Android 4.2.2 with Xiaomi's own MIUI on top. Xiaomi at the time of shooting this reviews already began rolling out KitKat, so the Redmi Note should be updated to KitKat pretty soon. But anyway, with this being a Xiaomi device, there's not going to be a lot of differences that you'd notice since MIUI is a pretty heavy user interface. And that's not a negative, MIUI is extremely customizable. It lets you change everything from icons to lock styles to fonts and even boot animations. I've got a separate video on what MIUI brings to the table, and I'll leave a link to that video right below the like button. Feel free to check that out. Anyway, the UI is fast and stable and doesn't lag. Performance-wise, the Redmi Note is a pleasure to use. Apps open up quick without a hint of lag. So I guess that brings us to the end of this review. Overall, another budget device from Xiaomi that punches well above its weight. They're kind of making this a habit now. I'm impressed, I really am. As always, since Xiaomi is not yet selling these phones in most parts of the world, you'll have to go through a reseller with their own markups to get the Redmi Note. In my experience, XiaomiWorld.com seems to be the best of the bunch. I'll leave a link to XiaomiWorld.com down below in case you're interested. So what do you guys think about Xiaomi and the Redmi Note? Do you think the insane success of Xiaomi's previous phones and the lack of any quality control issues with Xiaomi devices till date, do you think that these are enough to get most people to look past the brand name? Or do you think that brand name is still very important? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So I guess that pretty much wraps up this review. Hope you guys found it useful. If you did, do give this video a thumbs up. And for more videos like these right on your YouTube homepage, please do subscribe. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Till next time, this is Ash here from C4E Tech signing off. You guys have a great day. Bye bye now.